First at 9 this Sunday, the 3rd of November 2024. No recall. No Triforces and civil defense personnel deployed to protect religious sites recalled to base, assures the Defense Ministry. Diplomatic callback. Government to recall all politicians serving as diplomats, reveals the President. Seeks parliamentary majority to secure and institute systemic change. Soaring high. Sri Lanka records over 135,000 tourist arrivals in October. Total arrivals crossed 1.6 million at the end of the 10th month.
ඔබේ විශ්වාසය දිනු සෙන්සුරයින් දැන් ළඟමැති ෆාමසියෙන් ලබාගත හැක.
Crunchy goodness for hunger on the go. කට්ට පරිස්සම් කරගත්තොත් අපි පරිස්සම්.
From Derana, this is Derana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and welcome to Derana First at 9. I am Aditya Adrisinghe joining you live with the latest in Sri Lanka and around the world. Now taking you straight to your top story this evening. The Ministry of Defence has stated that reports claiming the removal of security provided by the Triforces and the Civil Defence Force at religious sites across the country are untrue. During a media briefing today, Major General Rasika Kumara, the media spokesman for the Sri Lanka Army, emphasised that the government has not made any decision to reduce the number of security personnel deployed at these religious sites. Information was recently circulated through a mainstream newspaper and on social media about a reduction in military and civil defence force personnel assigned to protect religious sites. We have already refuted this information via a post on X.
පණිවිඩයක් මගින් අපි දැනටමත් මේක ප්‍රතික්ෂේප කරලා තියෙනවා.
යුද හමුදාවෙන් පන්සල් 89.
Currently, 1,584 military personnel are assigned to 89 religious sites for security and construction purposes. Among them, 364 personnel are dedicated to security, while approximately 1,220 are involved in various development projects. These personnel are deployed across all 9 provinces in 16 districts. Security measures remain consistent, although we periodically reassess the situation and make adjustments as necessary.
In other related news, several political figures commented on the reopening of the Palali Achuveli road, which has been closed for 30 years.
This road passes through the Palali military base and the security forces headquarters in Jaffna. This decision was made to appease Tamil politicians. It is unsurprising to see leaders who understand only terrorist activities and have little knowledge of war, patriotism or national security make such decisions.
Initially, opening a road in Jaffna proved challenging, prompting them to open several roads in Colombo instead. The Palali Achuveli road was reopened afterwards. The pressing question is, why is it being opened so suddenly? Was it challenging for the people in that area to access polling stations during the general election? Even Ranil Wickremesinghe, who has been accused of aiding the LTT, served as president for 2 years. Even he did not approve the opening of this road.
The request for the reopening of the road came from the governor to the president and was carried out after security assessment by the security forces headquarters in Jaffna. This road passes through a high security zone which remains intact while the road itself is open for transit. Individuals are restricted from straying off the path. All necessary security measures are in place.
Horizon Campus 2024 Intake 2. Register now. පිරිපුන් ජීවිතයකට ඔබ සමගින් පෙරට Union Assurance.
Welcome to Cinnamon Life, South Asia's biggest entertainment hub, where awe awaits.
Sadaharita Plantations Limited, celebrating 22 years of your trust.
Now in other news, during a meeting yesterday with the Chief of Mission of the International Organization for Migration, Christine B. Parko, Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya discussed efforts to rescue Sri Lankan nationals trafficked to Myanmar for involvement in cybercrimes. The Prime Minister's office stated that the discussions also focused on strengthening cybersecurity measures to combat cyber fraud within the country. The meeting included officials from the International Organization for Migration and the Director General of the United Nations and Human Rights from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Sri Lanka decides 2024.
And now taking you to your election-related updates, President Anura Dissanayake says that the government has decided to recall all politicians who currently serve as diplomats back to the country. Speaking at a rally in Nuwara today, President Dissanayake emphasized that the National People's Power must consolidate its current political authority to bring about the changes that the public desires within the country's political landscape.
Another public rally of the National People's Power aimed at securing the party's victory in the 2024 parliamentary election was held today in Nuwara under the patronage of President Anura Dissanayake.
මේ නුවරඑළිය මහමැතිවරණයට ඉතා වැදගත් දිස්ත්‍රික්කය. දේශපාලනයේ පෙළ ගැහිලා තිබුණේ
Nuwara is a district of utmost importance during the upcoming general election. Historically, politics in our country has not prioritized uniting the Sinhala, Tamil and Muslim communities. Instead, political parties have often represented specific ethnic communities, with Tamil parties for the Tamil community and Sinhala parties for the Sinhalese. As a result, residents of Nuwara have long lived divided rather than united. For the first time, however, a political movement aims to bring together all communities within the Nuwara district. If we were to continue with traditional politics, the power we currently hold would be sufficient. Even the office of the president would suffice. However, if we were to follow the same path, the public would not have supported the NPP in the presidential elections. Many old leaders continue to hold on to power even after facing defeat. That is an obstacle to making real transformative change. To achieve that new vision, we must secure power in the other political hubs and streams. Currently, our influence rests within the offices of the president and 3 other cabinet ministers. The upcoming November 14 election is crucial to secure the power we need to bring about meaningful change. We aim to hold provincial council elections next year and will organize local government elections soon. Before that, we must solidify our political power. We plan to form an effective cabinet and assign portfolios systematically. However, these ministers will not receive the same privileges as past ministers. They will not have official residences in Colombo or massive security details. We have also planned to increase state sector salaries via the upcoming budget. We have decided to give a reasonable increment for state workers. Additionally, we have decided to recall all diplomats who are politicians from their overseas missions. We assure you that we will relinquish power only after we have successfully rebuilt this nation.
අපි ඔබට සහතිකයක් දෙනවා. මේ අවස්ථාව අපි අත්හරින්නේ මේ රට ගොඩනගලා පමණයි.
Fast track your career from O-Levels with eSoft. After O-Levels, start your Australian university degree in just 8 months with ACBT's Foundation Program. Enrollments close on 21st October. Call 071 115 1234 for Colombo or 077 011 3223 for Kandy.
ඩයිබටසෝල් සීනි වලින් පරිස්සම්වන ඔබට අමතක නොවන පෝෂණය.
Prime Group ලංකාවේ ප්‍රථම වතාවට හඳුන්වා දෙන land leasing ලේසියෙන් මීටමක්.
Leader of the Samagi Jana Balawege, Sajith Premadasa, claims that his party is qualified to govern this country and strengthen the public while making a change to the political system. Addressing a gathering in Matakkuliya, he promised that the Samagi Jana Balawege will quell the fires of anguish and provide benefits to the public. Another public meeting of the Samagi Jana Balawege aimed at securing the party's victory in the 2024 general election was held in Matakkuliya yesterday under the patronage of party leader Sajith Premadasa.
The incumbent president claimed to change the current political system. Although he changed his political party and its symbol, he still hasn't changed the system. Did he not say that he would reduce electricity tariff once he assumes power? Didn't he promise to reduce prices of essential food items? They promised to provide a solution to the passport queues and reduce taxes. However, they have not fulfilled any of those promises. They asserted that they would put an end to corruption, fraud, extortion and theft and pass on the benefits of those savings to the public. They do not need a majority in parliament to reduce the electricity tariffs. They have now been enslaved by the same price formula they swore to abolish. In the upcoming general election, you have the opportunity to cast your ballot in favour of the only party qualified to govern this country and strengthen the public while changing the country's political system for the better. The party is none other than the Samala Party. We will quell the fire of agony and provide various benefits including electricity tariff reductions and tax reductions.
ජනතාවට සහන ලබා දෙන යුගය, බඩු මිල අඩු කරන යුගය, විදුලි මිල අඩු කරන යුගය, බදු බර අඩු කරන යුගය ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්නට අපි නායකත්වය ලබා දෙනවා කියන එක මේ අවස්ථාවේ ප්‍රකාශ
Now, former President Ranil Wickremesinghe reiterated that skilled individuals with political experience should be sent to Parliament in the forthcoming 2024 parliamentary election. Speaking at a youth meeting yesterday, the former president highlighted that Sri Lanka's future remains uncertain at the moment and asserted that improper governance and leadership could worsen the existing situation of the country. A youth meeting was held in Colombo late last evening under the patronage of former President Ranil Wickremesinghe.
බැරි වෙලාවත් මේ පාර්ලිමේන්තු මැතිවරණය ඉවර වෙලා පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට පත්වෙච්ච മന്ത്രിවරයෙක් කිව්වොත් මම ඉල්ලාස් වෙලා ඔබතුමාට දෙනවා ඔබතුමා කොහොම හරි එන්න කියලා එනවද?
දැන් පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ඇති.
No, I believe that my time in Parliament is over. I think it is imperative that this opportunity be given to the new members contesting under the banner of the gas cylinder, since they are the only skilled and competent politicians in the country at the moment. The government does not consist of experienced leaders. These people have been working consistently for the past 3 or 4 years and even assisted me when no one else would to turn the country around in 2 years. Sri Lanka is the nation that exited bankruptcy the fastest, but as of right now, the country's future remains uncertain. Without proper leadership, the situation could spiral just like the KDU bus veered off the road. This is why I urge people to send skilled, competent and experienced individuals to Parliament.
දන්න අය පළපුරුදා එවන්න පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට.
විපක්ෂ නායක ඉන්දි වැඩියම ආණ්ඩුව එක්ක හැප්පෙන්නේ ඔබතුමායි.
මම ආණ්ඩුව එක්ක හැප්පෙන්නේ නැහැ.
I'm not against the government, but they are against me. I asked them to work with those who contested under the gas cylinder symbol when I formed this new alliance. Then they claim that I deceived the public when in power and that I didn't raise the salaries of state workers. Now when I can't respond to those accusations, the Prime Minister threatens to sue me in court. I think they should settle the salaries before they sue me.
මං කියන්නේ මට නඩු දාන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා ඒගොල්ලෝ තියෙන මේ පඩිය ගෙවන්න.
ඔබතුමාලා මුදල් අච්චු ගහන ගැන කතා කරනවා. ආණ්ඩුව නම් ඔබට අච්චු කරන්න බලන් ඉන්නවා.
මට අච්චු කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. ඒගොල්ලෝ දන්නේ නැහැ මේ මොකද්ද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා. එහෙම නඩුවකුත් නෑ.
ඒකට ඔබතුමාව නම් කරලා තිනවා ඊළඟට.
නෑ කොහොමද කරන්නේ? එතුමාට බෑනේ. මෙහෙම නඩුවක් නැහැනේ. නඩුවක් නැති දැන සාක්කිය.
ඔබතුමාර විවස්ථාව උගන්වන පන්තියට අගමැතිතුමිය එන්න බෑ කියනවනේ.
එතුමිය නොදැනුවත්කම මෙහෙම ඉඳී මොනා කරන්නද?
Now, leader of the Sarvajana Balaya Alliance, Dilip Jayavira, highlights that politicians should adopt an entrepreneurial mindset to develop the country. Speaking at a meeting today, Jayavira requested everyone to cast their votes in favour of the Sarvajana Balaya to resolve the existing political distortions and establish a bold opposition in the country.
An entrepreneurial meeting of the Sarvajana Balaya Alliance was held in Kiribathkota this morning under the patronage of party leader Dilip Jayavira.
We published a strategic plan for the development of the country. This plan elaborates how this country can be weaved through an entrepreneurial mindset. Politicians must adopt an entrepreneurial mindset. People chose the NPP to get back at other political parties. However, it is imperative that we rectify our mistakes going forward. This is why we constantly talk about establishing a courageous opposition in the country. If you grant us the opportunity to form the opposition, we will take the country along the right path. We informed the President too that we will not try to sabotage his plans. We think positively of the President too. We can govern the country as the President. We will establish a courageous opposition.
Meanwhile, Dilip Jayavira also attended a public meeting held in Mahara this afternoon.
The JVP and the NPP, which obtained only 3% of the total votes during a previous election, are contesting the upcoming general election. On the other hand, we have an alliance without proper leadership or a political party contesting under the banner of the gas cylinder. Then there's the defeated Sajith, the SLPP, and those contesting under the symbol of the microphone. Ranjan Ramanayaka was not fully acquitted through the presidential pardon. He cannot enter the parliament. Once I publicized that I will be contesting from Gampaha district, the commercial party nominated a candidate candidate stripping of his community rights. The commercial party nominated a candidate stripped of his community rights. Therefore, I request everyone to vote in favour of the Sarvajana Balaya alliance to resolve the existing political distortions and establish a powerful opposition in the country.
And now here's a look at more opinions expressed by politicians across the island ahead of the parliamentary election this year.
අපි උත්සාහ කරන්නේ ශක්තිමත් ආණ්ඩුවක් ගොඩනගන්න. අපි ඔබට යෝජනා කරලා තියෙනවා මාධ්‍ය ධූර 25ක්. අපිට අවශ්‍යයි මේ රට තුල සියලු දෙනාගේම ජීවිත ලස්සන ජීවිත බවට පත් කරන්න.
සමහර අය හිතනවා අපු දැන් මෙයාව පත් කරලා තියෙනවනේ. ඉතින් යාගේ පක්ෂයේ අයව ආණ්ඩුවට දැම්මොත් හොඳයි කියලා. මොන පිස්සු කතාවක්ද ඒක? ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී රාමෝක ජනාධිපතිතුමා ඉන්න පුළුවන් එක පක්ෂයකින් ආණ්ඩුවක් පිහිටුවෙන්න පුළුවන් තව පක්ෂයකින්.
දැන් ජනාධිපති ඉන්නවා අගමැති ඉන්නවා ආණ්ඩුව තියෙනකොට හොඳ ප්‍රබල විපක්ෂයක් තියෙන්න ඕන. ප්‍රබල විපක්ෂයට හොඳ විපක්ෂ නායකවරයෙක් හදා ගන්න ඕන. සජිත් මහත්තයා නම් පේල්. ඒක නම් කියන්න ඕන.
අන්න කුමාරාවොත් රට බංකොලොත් වෙයි රට සාගතයට වැටෙයි නේද පෝලිං ආය ඇති වෙයි කියලා කියපු කතා නම් දැන් ගොඩාක් බොරු වෙලා තියෙනවා. අපිට මතකයි අත්හදා බලන්න යන්න එපා කිව්වා. දැන් මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ අත්හදා බැලීම ගැන?
තවමත් මිනිස්සු රැට પાස්පෝර්ට් පෝලිම් වල නිදාගෙන ඉන්නවා. අපේ ගෙදර ඉන්න අම්මා තාත්තා අද වෙනකොට පොල්ලොරියක් පස්සේ දුවන්න පටන් අරන් තියෙනවා. සමහර විට උදේ ඇහැරිනකොට පොල්ලොරිය ගිහිල්ලා ඉවරයි. මේ ආර්ථිකයවත් හරියට කළමනාකරණය කරගන්න බැරි ආණ්ඩුවක් බවට අද පත් වෙලා තියෙනවා.
ජනාධිපතිතුමා කියපු ඔක්කොම බොරු වුණා. ඒ නිසා මේ මහචන්ද්‍රමුත් කියන්න බෑ. ඒ අතරේ මොකක් හරි පොඩි කෑලි කියනවා බොරු. අපිට ඕනකම තියෙන්නේ ඒ බොරු කියන චාටුකාර රෙවොල්ටිකල් දේශපාලන පරාජයට පත් කළා රට මුළුමනින්ම වෙනස් කරන්න.
මහානම කතාව තමයි මේ ගියසුමාන කිව්ව මේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ වෘත්ති සමිති විසිරුවා හරිනවා කියලා ඡන්දෙන් පස්සේ. දැන් අපේ ගුරු සංගම වල ජෝසප් සලින් මහත්තයා හැම උත්තර දෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ වෘත්ති සමිතිය විසිරුවනොද කියලා.
අපි මෙච්චර කඩාකප්පල් කරා, වර්ජන කරා, කැරලි ගැහුවා. දැන් මේ වෘත්තීය සමිති වැඩක් නැහැ. ඒක තමයි නියම කතාව. මේ අය ගෙවල් හදපු අය නෙමෙයි ගෙවල් කඩපු අය.
මම නම් කැමති ජනතා විමුක්ති පෙරමුණේ වෘත්තීය සමිති විසුරුවන එකට. අද මහින්ද ජයසිංහල, වසන්ත සමරසිංහල, නාමල් කරුණාරත්නල, ලාල් කාන්තල මේ වගේ වෘත්තීය සමිති සම්මේලනත් එක්ක කටයුතු කරපු කට්ටිය අද ඡන්ද ඉල්ලනවා.
පිට රටක එක මාසෙක පඩියෙන් පුළුවන් වාහනයක් ගන්න. ඔයාලා මුළු ජීවිත කාලෙම සල්ලි එකතු කරලා ට්‍රැක්ටර් එක රෝදයක් ගන්න බෑ. ඔය ජපානයේ වීට්ස් කාර් එකක් ලංකාවට ගේනකොට ලක්ෂ 12යි. හැබැයි ගන්න බැරි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ ඇයි? ආණ්ඩුව බදු ගහන ලක්ෂ 80ක් 90ක්. අවුරුදු 5න් බෑ. 10ක් යනකොට මේ රටේ ආර්ථිකය හදනවා. හැම ගෙදරටම වාහනයක් ගන්න පුළුවන් ආර්ථිකයක් හදනවා.
ගෙනල්ලා තියෙන ගමන් බලපත්‍රේ බෙදා ගන්න බැරි මට්ටමට වැඩ බැරි කළමනාකරණය නොදන්න ආණ්ඩුවක් තියෙන්නේ. මොකද ඔය ජනාධිපතිතුමාවත් අගමැතිතුමියවත් එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔය එකම ඇමතිවරයාවත් ජීවිතේට ගයක්වත් කළමනාකරණය කරපු අය නෙවෙයි. ඉතින් ඒ අයට එකපාරට රටක් බාර දුන්නම ඒ අය පව්.
Sri Lanka decides 2024.
And now here's a look at some local news in brief.
The Sri Lankan police revealed that an investigation is underway to determine whether the recent fatal bus accident on the Dunghinda road in Badulla was caused by a technical fault of the bus or by an error of the driver. The senior superintendent of police in charge of Badulla, Vasanta Kandewata, stated that the investigation authorities are awaiting a government analyst report on the bus in question. SSP Kandewata noted that efforts are also underway to analyze data on how the bus was being driven at the time of the accident, including a focus on any technological evidence that could shed light on its speed and transmission. Meanwhile, a 10-member committee of experts was appointed looking into injustices to any beneficiaries of the Aswasuma Social Benefit Program. The appointment was communicated by the Secretary to the Ministry of Social Security today. In other local news, former State Minister Lohan Ratwatte, who was admitted to the prison hospital for treatment, has been transferred to the Colombo General Hospital. The prison spokesman said that he was transferred to Colombo General Hospital due to a sudden illness last night. Ratwatte, who was arrested and remanded on charges of using a luxury car illegally imported from abroad and assembled in Sri Lanka, was transferred to the prison hospital yesterday under the permission granted by the Nugegoda Acting Magistrate.
Welcome back. Now in your business news, Chairperson and Managing Director of Jetwings Travels, Shiramal Kure, expressed that the private sector within the tourism industry is dissatisfied with the government's management of a fund contributed by private entities for the industry's development. Joining our current affairs program at Hyde Park with Indiva Yamuwatta, Kure suggested that the fund could be better utilized and could be used to hire a public relations agent to promote the industry globally and effectively manage information that could affect tourism. When asked about the status of SMEs within the industry, Kure stated that SMEs could prioritize creating business plans and developing financial management skills to build resilience against crises in the sector.
The SME, we talk about SMEs regardless of what industry, that they need to be strengthened, the engine of growth. Big players as you, forget about the government, but what can you do to protect the SMEs and help them grow, which will eventually support the industry?
So SMEs are a big part in tourism because, as I said, lots of experiences are handled by the SMEs. So you mustn't forget that all of us started as an SME. You know, our company maybe 50 years ago started as an individual hotelier trying to build a hotel. They must understand that there is a business plan, you have to stick to it. When things are good, you need to put a bit of money aside. So there are a lot of things, and lots of banks are now ready to help SMEs to restructure. So there is a lot of work that has been done. So a lot of facilities or services are available, but
when crisis hits, do you think the SMEs are taken care of?
I think they are. I think we can always complain about things, but we must also look at the positive things that are happening. And it's SMEs that are keeping this industry together, not a few 5 or 6 big companies. SMEs are playing a vital role in tourism.
Ceylon tea, Ceylon cinnamon. Do you think the Ceylon, we should retain it?
Well, so that's again up to debate, but I think Sri Lanka is fine. I mean, we decided to change the name of the country, and let's go with Sri Lanka. I don't think it's that has mattered. It's just that a concerted effort has not been made to do it.
So if Sri Lanka is to hire a PR agency, what percentage will the private sector contribute to it, or does this happen through the budget that all of you contribute to?
Yes, there's already a budget, there's a levy, there's a fund that has been collected, and most of it has not been spent over the last couple of years. So it's all there. The briefs are there, the blueprints are there. We just need to select somebody and go with them.
Why is the private sector not pushing the government, holding it accountable for the monies that you contribute to a budget? Are you happy with what it has been spent on?
We're not. We've been pushing, we've been making a lot of noise, but unfortunately it hasn't happened. We can only hope that the current government, because we have to work with the government in power, in the last so many years we've hoped when a new government came, okay, this one is going to be different. So we are still living in hope.
Now, on the subject of tourism, this year Sri Lanka is on pace to surpass its ambitious goal of attracting 2.3 million tourists, marking significant growth from over 1.4 million tourist arrivals welcomed in 2023. By October 2024, the country had already welcomed 1,620,715 arrivals, indicating a positive momentum in tourism. Growing closer to Sri Lanka's target of attracting 2.3 million tourist arrivals in 2024, the country welcomed 1,620,715 arrivals so far this year. According to the latest data issued by the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, the month of October recorded a total of 135,907 arrivals. Indicating an uptick in tourist arrivals, October welcomed more tourists compared to the 122,140 arrivals recorded in September this year. October 2024 reported over 20,000 arrivals compared to the corresponding period last year. Meanwhile, the highest number of tourist arrivals was recorded from the 4th week of last month, from the 22nd to the 27th of October, amounting to 31,076 arrivals. Meanwhile, the highest number of tourist arrivals was recorded during the 4th week of last month, from the 22nd to the 27th of October, amounting to 31,076 arrivals. The highest number of tourists so far this year were recorded from India, with a total of 322,973 Indian tourists visiting the country. The United Kingdom recorded the second highest arrivals, with a total of 146,670 tourist arrivals. A significant number of tourists also arrived from Russia, Germany, China, and France. And now here's a look at some corporate news in brief. DFCC Bank PLC remains open for an investor to sell its 50% stake in Equity Partners after its deal for the sale did not go through as announced earlier. Accordingly, Equity Partners Private Limited will continue to operate as a joint venture between DFCC Bank and Hatter National Bank. In September, DFCC announced that it would sell its 50% stake in Equity Partners Private Limited to Hatter National Bank PLC for 7 billion rupees. Meanwhile, IHH Patient Assistance Centre Sri Lanka, part of the global network of IHH Healthcare Singapore, announced its partnership with FareFirst Worldwide Healthcare Insurance to expand access to advanced healthcare solutions for local patients. With its partnership with FareFirst, IHH Patient Assistance Centre Sri Lanka aims to streamline the process for Sri Lankan patients seeking advanced healthcare solutions in Singapore. In other corporate news, the Vella Group of companies marked its official launch as a corporate entity at the Ravana Pool Club in Alla, one of its flagship properties. The newly established organisation will serve as the central hub for administrative and corporate management across all operations within the group. The Vella Group comprises over 10 subsidiaries in the tea, leisure, adventure, investment and IT sectors. That's all the news we have for you tonight. Thank you. Have a great night.